You're on Maths with Daniel Dallas. Today I want to share the secret how to master coordinate geometry. So many times students trying to approach different problems from coordinate geometry, like squares and the lines going through, segments, trying to define gradients, and finally points of intersection. And finally they failed on the exams. So many students ask me why it happens. So actually I'm going to share the secret soon. Just have a look. And before we do that, new subscribers, newcomers, thank you a lot for your support. I'm very pleased of joining us, and also I want to say that sharing your comments in the comments what sort of video you would like to see or you would like to watch. So I'll try to get prepared as soon as I have time. And for new subscribers, please hit the subscribe button, hit the smash button to be notified about all updates. Actually, I'm trying to stick to their daily basis, but for some reason this math is pretty tough, lots of jobs, so sorry guys. I'll try and do my best. Okay, so the secret is how to master, and then we're just gonna go through the problems that for some students consider pretty hard. I'll give some variations, and this is the first problem that we're going to take today. And in the next video we'll also go through another problems connected with circles and also variation of this problem that you currently see here. I'll do also variations as well. Alright, so let's get back to the secrets. How to finally master coordinate geometry. What's and which skills you need to have in order to be competent here. So I won't get into the secret, and first of all what I want to say guys is that you need to be aware of straight line equation, different ways how you can present your equation. And first of all, this is the gradient intercept form. So with no doubt you need to be able to define equation of the line, so that goes through with a given equation given in the form of x and y intercepts. So that's why here what you need to pay attention to is you need immediately define from the equation you given gradient, which is m, and the y-intercept, which is c. So actually you need to master this sort of visualizing technique. So first of all you need to be aware of the gradient, which is simply if you are given 2 points you need to be able to determine the gradient as changing y or changing x. So first of all, so having a look at the points you can easily do by taking the change in y their coordinates. Let's say 2 and let's say 0 and 2. That's one coordinate, and this is, let's say, 3 and 0. That's the first key skill. So the gradient in this case, m, is going to be changing y is 2. 0 minus 2 is negative 2, so negative 2 over 3. So that's how you need to be able to strong here. Okay, what about c? C-intercept is visually seen from there. It's basically where the line curves the y-axis, and that's why c coefficient is simply 2. Okay, so make sure you also can test that your workings are correct. So in this case the gradient is negative, and you see the falling curve, the falling straight line in this case. So make sure you can check it, and also be careful about C, that in this case it's visually seen it's positive. So that's sort of testing technique that you can apply. You need to also be aware of, so finally the equation of the line is negative 2 3 over x, so negative 2 over 3x and plus 2. You need to also be aware of different way how you can present the equation of a straight line. So this is about x plus by plus d, let's say, and be able to convert this equation, what is called general form, or equation of straight lines in general form, into equation with gradient intercept. Okay, so this is the gradient intercept. What about also key skills? That's about the midpoint. So if you have the segment, you need to be aware of how to determine the mid coordinates of the segment. Say A has the coordinate -2, let's say 3, and this B is going to be, let's say, a little sloped down, let it be 5 for X, and let's take 2 for Y. So how to determine the midpoint coordinates? It's simply you're looking for arithmetic mean of X coordinates of edging points or boundary points and B, and Y midpoint of corresponding Y coordinates. So in this case, it's going to be 5 plus -2, so 5 minus 2 over 2, that's the arithmetic mean, and also 2 and 3 over 2, that's for Y. So simply arithmetic mean, that's the midpoint. Okay. By combining also knowledge about the points and knowledge about straight lines, you need to be aware of that if you have coordinates of the points of the point where the line goes through, let's say you have the line and you have the point here, you need to be aware of that if you do have some equation of the line, let's say y equals 2x, y equals 2x minus, let's say, or plus c, yes, and you want to determine c is unknown if you know that this line goes through the point with coordinates 1 and 2. So what you can do, you just simply need to say that you're eligible to plug those coordinates into your equation. So you have y equals 2x plus c. What you can do, you plug x equals 1 instead of x, so you plug 1 here, and you plug 2 instead of y. And finally, you can set up the equation of the straight line with plugged coordinates and define c parameter or c value. So in this case, you simply get 2 equals 2 times 1 is 2 plus c. So that's why finally c is 0. So that's how you can determine the coordinates, determine their parameters of straight lines by plugging the coordinates. Okay, it works pretty natural. So make sure that it works for any function. And of course, you need to be aware of some properties of the lines. So we can consider it quick. This is quick recap. So you need to be aware of if two lines are parallel. That means the gradients of the first line, let's say L1, and the gradient of the second line, M2, they're going to be the same. So because they defines the slope of the lines, and the slope of the lines the same, so they're parallel. So L1 is parallel to L2. So that's why M1 equals to M2. So the same gradients. And also, if we're talking about perpendicular lines, so also we can do another tricks if you have one line and another line which is perpendicular. So range 90 degrees angle. So this is L1, this is L2. What can you say about the gradients? The gradient for the line 1 and the gradient for line 2. If L1 is perpendicular to L2, so that means the gradients are going to be inversely proportional. So that means M1 is -1 over M2. Or vice versa, it doesn't matter how you're writing, so, or M2 is -1 over M1. Okay, so it works pretty natural, and those properties are really significant. So that's necessary skills. And on top of that, so if you know that two lines, for example, you're given an equation of two lines, they intersect one single point. For example, here, that's the point of intersection, x0 and y0. And you have L1 and L2. So it means that you're always eligible to plug those coordinates x0 and y0 into equation of each line and solve simultaneously if you need to determine, I don't know, some coefficients. Okay, so in this case you just simply need to know that if the equation of the line for the L1, so L1 has an equation y equals, let's say, m1x plus c1, and equation of line 2 is equal to y equals m2x plus c2. So m1 and m2 gradients and c1 and c2 y-intercepts. So what you can do, you can plug those coordinates x0 and y0 instead of coordinates x and y in each equation, and hence you can solve them simultaneously. So what you can do next, you just simply can solve them simultaneously. That means you will arrange two simultaneous equations, m1x0 plus c1 and also y0 m2x0 plus c2. So knowing that those are some numbers, you actually completed the simultaneous equations, where by solving that you can figure out m1 c1 m2 c2. However, there are like 4 variables, so that's why you need to be given, for example, maybe m1, let's say, and c2 are given, so that you can find m2 and c1. Okay, that's a typical question that might appear in the problem. So find m2 and c1. So basically, if you are given m1 and c2, there are numbers. So because simultaneous equations, if they're completed for 2 equations, you need to have 2 variables at most, right, to solve that. Otherwise, you will have you won't have enough data to solve it completely. So guys, that was actually the secrets and all necessary competence and skills that you need to have in order to cope with this sort of questions. These sort of questions that we are going to consider in the next video soon. So that was techniques, recap, some properties, some theoretical basis. I hope I generalized that in this short video. So enjoy, please try to use, and if you understand that something you don't know, please recap one more time. Just go to the video that I already have in my library, so please check it out, try to rewatch, try to recap all those basics, then come back here and one more time again watch this how to master coordinate geometry video in order to again take all the items that I shared here that you actually aware of and can probably fluently use that and apply. Okay, and so if you're ready for that, in the next video we'll consider the problem from coordinate geometry, and several problems definitely we'll consider, maybe in 2 separate videos. Okay, so that was shortly about that. Daniel Dell is there, and peace out.